Seconds out, round one.
Well, this is round one of a 4-round contest in the middleweight division between Franky Senior and Bahadur Karami. This is the final contest of the evening. Franky Senior headlining the show for the second time in his professional career with Nielsen Boxing. Ended up headlining his debut, actually put on a real slick performance. And he's made a decent start so far from the southpaw stance. He's the slightly taller fighter of the two, and he's already found his range, Alex.
Yeah, well, with Karami, we know one thing for sure. He's going to keep coming forward and put the pressure on Franky Senior. But as we know, Briar, with Franky Senior, he's going to lap that up in that southpaw stance and just potentially pick him off. And he's done that so far already, hasn't he?
Senior's landed almost absolutely everything that he's thrown so far. He's found his range quickly. He's finding his left hand from behind that southpaw jab, lands a clean left hand straight down the pipe onto the nose of Bahadur Karami.
Yeah, he's just sitting back and allowing Karami to walk on, and it's he's sort of playing with him a little bit at the moment. It's a great start from Franky Senior, isn't it?
And he's completely got the right tactics. You know, he's keeping Bahadur Karami at the end of his long levering straight shots, and as he comes forward, he'll whip an uppercut in, or he'll whip a hook round the corner, just like he's done just there. Beautiful left hand straight down the pipe. Nice body shots there that no doubt going to slow down Karami as the fight goes on.
Yeah, it's smart boxing from Franky Senior. It's not only controlling the fight, it's just showing Karami that, you know, you've got no way in here, I've got your number. And I know it's only very early in the fight, but it sort of seems to be panning out that way.
But like you say, it's early in the fight. It's round number one of his second professional contest at the age, you know, he's only 19 years old. He's going up against a 33-year-old grown man, and, you know, he's managing him well. Lands a clean left hand, but referee calls no knockdown.
Interesting.
But he throws absolutely everything with intention, doesn't he, Franky Senior? He's intelligent, he punches hard, he's slick, and he gets himself out of trouble. Nice clean jab there from the southpaw stance from Franky Senior.
He's also extremely rangy as well, that long reach with the southpaw. It's a real problem, isn't it?
Just coming down to the last few seconds of the first round of this 4-round contest. Franky Senior's made light work of it so far against a tough Bahadur Karami. The second round of 4 in this middleweight contest between the slick Franky Boy Senior, who's been able to find his range within seconds of the first bell sounding, against Bahadur Karami.
It's difficult to see how Karami's going to get. Karami's going to get into this fight, because he's coming up against a tricky southpaw, like we said, and it's. I say tricky. It's his second fight, but he's looking like he's got all the answers to what Karami's bringing, doesn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, he's tucking up when Karami comes in close. He's able to find his range again. He can fight on the inside. He can fight on the back foot. He can fight behind his jab coming forward. Franky Senior's got every tool in the box to become as successful as he chooses to be in the professional ranks of boxing.
Yeah, it's been a great night of boxing. We've seen sluggers, we've seen powerful fighters. Franky Senior's, like you mentioned, Prior, has brought that slickness. He's going to be a real problem, isn't he, in this division?
He certainly is. I mean, he's just taken a clean left hand to the chin there from Bahadur Karami, but, you know, he takes it well, he moves off, he gets back to his boxing, and he's back behind his jab again, moving backwards, lines his backhand up from behind the jab.
When we look at middleweights, we look at the physique of middleweights and they're usually filled out, but he's got that similar sort of build to, dare I say, Hamza Shiraz, you know, that sort of sleeky, sort of middleweight look where they're sort of rangy, and it can be a problem in this division, can't it?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, and he's certainly proven to be a bit of a problem from Karami, who really cannot find his range and, you know, struggling to get past the long arms of Franky Senior. Just misses there with a couple of shots, but regains his composure, finds his feet again, resets and comes back. Just walks into a left hand, does Karami. And this is where Franky Boy's timing will serve him so well, because Karami's just going to keep coming forward, and if he can clip him on the way in, just like he's just done there, and come off at an angle, this could be a real tough night for Karami.
Yeah, and Franky Senior's enjoying himself in there at the moment, and why not? It's his second fight. He's getting introduced into the pro game, and he's got a big crowd here. The York Hall is raucous, and he's enjoying himself, and why not?
Referee just warning Bahadur Karami. Having words with Franky Boy Senior as well, just to keep them both honest. Resumes the contest, and Franky Senior straight on it with his clean, crisp shots. With just 10 seconds left of this round, as Senior's feet have come alive in here, and lands a nice clean left hand onto the chin of Bahadur Karami and heads back to his corner.
Sit down, round 3.
Well, this is the penultimate round of a 4-round contest in the middleweight division between Franky Senior and Bahadur Karami. Senior has put on a slick performance so far, as expected, and he's just landed a beautiful left hand straight down the pipe from the southpaw stance. He's boxed long range, he's boxed short range, he's managed to reset himself when Karami's put some pressure on him, and so far it's almost been punch perfect for Franky Senior. Taken a couple of heavy shots there from Karami, but takes them well.
Yeah, it's hard to see how Karami gets into this fight. He doesn't seem to have a plan B, i.e. plan A hasn't really worked, he's been picked off. It'd be nice to see him maybe try something different, maybe backing onto the ropes, trying to catch Senior coming in. I don't know, but it's at this stage we're seeing Senior win this fight comfortably. Yes, he's rolling a few shots, but it seems quite comfortable in there for Senior.
I mean, right now Karami's job is just to give Franky a tough night and a tough initiation into the professional ranks at the early stages of his career. He's boxed some great fighters as Karami boxed Chad Sugden a few years ago. He took Dan Aziz the distance over 6 rounds, and more recently fought George Crotty, who's also another fantastic fighter. He's had 21 fights last year as Karami, so he's a busy journeyman. And he's starting to get to Franky Senior a little bit in this round.
He's a busy and a tough fighter, and at this stage in the fight, if he's getting frustrated, he will try and put pressure. That's what he does. He does it well.
Senior's just put some real venom behind those 2 left hands that he's landed onto the chin of Karami. It's starting to get a little bit messy in there now.
It's the perfect fight for Karami. That's what he wants to get this fight into, you know, a bit of a mess, and take Senior out of his flow.
A beautiful left hand that rocked the head back of Karami. He smiled in the face of that, but
yeah, it's a great left hand from Senior. I'd like to see him do more of that, sort of take a step back, see what's coming, and then counter.
like we said, it's just getting a bit messy in there now. Senior's superior footwork is starting to render Bahadur Karami off balance, but Karami's coming back. He's trying to put some pressure on Senior. But again, Senior's just able to very easily get back out, get back to his boxing, land nice 2 clean straight shots there, and his feet have come alive at the end of this round. That's the bell for the 3rd round.
Second out, 4th and final round.
Well, this is the final round of the middleweight contest between Franky Senior and Bahadur Karami, and they have both come out all guns blazing as Franky Senior looks to retain his undefeated record, his second professional fight. Lovely 1-2 there from the southpaw stance from Franky Senior. Seems to have come alive in this round, Alex.
Yeah, he does. He needs to just keep the jab out, keep thrusting the jab into Karami, keep him at range. He allowed him to come onto him in the third round, and he's seeming to do that in the fourth, and it plays into Karami's style of fight. I'd like to see him really pushing the jab out and pushing Karami back a bit.
Just caught Karami with a clipping body shot there. But again, nice 1-2 straight down the pipe from Franky Senior. He's a slick operator, is the young man.
See where he is now is precisely where Karami wants him. Close range, the close quarters, that's where he does his best work.
Beautiful left hand there, straight onto the nose of Karami, but Karami's a tough old lad, you know, he takes these shots well and keeps coming forward.
Yeah, it's become a tough learning fight for a senior, but he'll take lots from this, there's no doubt.
When he's punching at range, he can literally punch Karami at will, can't he?
Absolutely, yeah. But like we've said in this fight, we knew what Karami would do, we knew what he would bring. And he's dragged Senior into a bit of a war, and he'll come out the other side and he'll learn from it.
Again, great footwork there from Franky Senior. He's got back to boxing at range. Nice check at Karami. Just can't pin him to the ropes, can he?
No, he's looking for a power punch as well to keep him off, where, you know, ideally what he would do is keep him at range with the jab, but it's tiring work when you're fighting someone like Karami.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's been an entertaining night so far at the York Hall. We're just in the final contest of the night between Franky Senior and Bahadur Karami. The crowd are absolutely on their feet for Franky Senior. He's got so much support in here tonight. Karami just lands a right hand on the chin of Franky Senior twice, but Senior takes it well. Last 10 seconds of the final round of this contest, and Senior's feet come alive as he check hooks Karami. Looks to the crowd, they absolutely love him.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for both fighters, please. At the 4 rounds of action, we go to your referee scorecard. Referee Rocky Israel scores the contest 40-36 in favor of your winner, Franky.